par exemple, Good morning, Andy. Thank you so much for joining the Mentorssori podcast. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, hello. I am Andy, Andreas Becker. I'm originally from Germany, but I'm living since 20 years, nearly in April. Next year, it's 20 years in Phuket in Thailand. And I'm happy here. And yeah, I'm a teacher, a real teacher, which has studied to be a teacher, a secondary school teacher, actually. I have founded up a kindergarten, which was then a Montessori kindergarten in Germany. And it's still existing, but as a parent initiative, so I'm no more involved there, but watching. And yeah, and I came here to Thailand to be an education director of a Montessori school, International Montessori School. And in 2004, just 2 days before the tsunami happened, I decided to get out of the school because I could not celebrate Christmas and something was going on and I did not know what. So I told my wife at this time, said, sorry, I'd go down to the school because Christmas is a normal day here, but it was a Sunday actually. So I went down to the school and she was there and I said, sorry, I quit. And I went out. And 2 days later, I knew why, because God had probably another purpose for me. And said, Andy, we need you here in Thailand. That's why he probably got me here. Because before I had a choice to go to Yellowknife in Canada or to the St. Martin, and I did not take the choice. I did the worst paid place actually here in Phuket, and I liked it. And the fact that I'm still here, I still like it. Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you so much. Thank you very much. So let's get started with the very first question. So number one, can you tell us more about one of the current projects you are most excited about?
Well, currently I'm really excited about UpSchool. UpSchool is an e-learning platform founded by or co-founded by Gavin McCormick, who is the Montessori Australia ambassador. And he has a great idea. He simply said, we have to change education the way we educate the children. What Maria Montessori said 100 years ago also, and not much has changed as we know. But he said we have to really do a big change. And he's using the Montessori method and created an e-learning platform which is freely available for everybody. He is emphasizing book reading because a lot of kids, they are only using this here, the smartphones and tablets and so on. Teachers do, they're addicted. When you take them away, they're getting angry. So, or the battery is over. Yeah, so yeah, we're changing it. And I had then somehow I was looking for a place for our church and I found on Google Maps and suddenly not the church, but a school name popped up. And because I was just living about 100 meters behind a wall actually to this place, and I never knew that there was a school, I went down and looking for the school and couldn't find it. And then I used Google Maps, internet, yeah, and 4G, so was good. And they directed me to a place which was a complete jungle. And I had to have 2-3 looks actually until I then spotted the school. I knew from Google Maps that this has a green roof. So I was looking for something which has a green roof, and then suddenly I found it. It was completely overwhelmed by, overgrown by plants from the jungle. This happens here quite fast. If you leave a building for 1 year, for 1 month actually, or 2 months, you have everything growing around the building. And this was standing alone for about 4 years. So you can imagine how it looked like in a jungle book. Yeah, and so I was then looking around for some people which were interested to do it with me. And as I built it up, helped to build up a Rainbow Montessori here in Phuket, which has the most 5-star reviews in Phuket for Montessori kindergarten. It's really a brilliant kindergarten. So I asked Stuart Newt, can you help? And he said, okay, probably I have a look. And we went then down to the school And I went very often actually down there. And then I found also out that the former teacher was just living beside the school and originally from Nepal. And then I said, well, Nepal, wow. I called Gavin. And then I called Gavin and said, okay, look here, I'm in process and I want to build up a school and I want to build up a real up school. And so not only the e-learning platform, I want to do it as a real building where students can go there and where we can show that it is working. And then from there, like a demo school, and then from there, going to public schools and see that actually teachers adopt the program. And he liked the idea a lot. And so we are in contact now constantly. He's currently in Sri Lanka doing some new videos, e-learning videos. Yeah, hopefully he doesn't get caught by the tiger or an elephant again, or what it was. Yeah, he had a nice video from Africa where a rhinoceros, I think it was, came from the back. So yeah, yeah, it's an experience, yeah. But I
Well,
won't.
thank you so
Yeah.
much. That sounds so exciting. I really want to know more. But before we find out more about Upschool, what inspired you to be such an advocate for all-inclusive Montessori education? Because I'm assuming Upschool is not Montessori as such, it's a different approach, perhaps. Can you tell us more? What inspired you to be such an advocate for all-inclusive Montessori education?
Well, when I was in 1987, actually 86, I was just freshly married. In 85, the Christmas, my wife was running away with my son and I had problems to see him. And because it's very common in Germany, the woman running away, taking the child and then applying for single custody. And then the father is only the one who has to pay. And I didn't like this role because I took care before for the child mostly. And so I said, no, I'm not doing it. And then at university, I found a paper which says we are 3 mothers with children and we like to build up a children group. And so I started with them. And then Chernobyl exploded. And then these 3 mothers were more interested in atomic topics than in children care. So I did it alone because my purpose was not atomic things. I was not interested in Chernobyl so much. It was important, but not so important for me actually, like the lost son. And so I looked for a room. I knew how my hometown is working. It's actually similar to Thailand here. You need to know the right people, and then you can get a lot of things running. And so I did it. I got a room for free from the town and inside the school, but in the second floor, which is actually not allowed to hold a kindergarten, but I managed it to get it there. And then I start because they wanted actually a homework group. In Germany, you have school in the morning and the afternoon, the students go home and they have to do their homework. So I said, okay, I do a homework group. But in the back, I had the idea, okay, let's start the homework group so that they are happy and then ask them. And that's what I did. I asked them then after 2-3 months if I can use the room also in the morning. And they agreed because yeah, the room was empty and there was nobody in. And Gerlingen has 100 clubs. And if I would simply say, hello, there is a room empty, you can imagine how many clubs would go to the town. So this was also a thing where the town said, well, actually, if you give it to Andy, then we know where it is. So that's what I mean. You need to know how a town is working. Yeah, it's not. I'm not a Vetterle. In Germany, Swabian, we say Vetterleswirtschaft. So you know a brother, and the brother knows the other brother, and he makes a contact to another brother, and so on. But it's pretty similar. And here in Thailand, it's exactly the same. Also, especially here in Phuket. Mm. And when you can work with this, you're all set. Actually, yeah, you need to know the right people. And so I started to build up a school, a kindergarten, where parents came from all kind of rich, poor. They simply had one need, getting rid of the child for a certain amount of time. And as I was actually not a kindergartner, I was a student for secondary school. Even we're sitting more or less together with the primary school teachers there in the same education sessions, yeah, and at the university. but the government says we are overqualified. Yeah, money. Yeah, so we get a little bit more money, and the more money the teachers get, the less they have to work. That's the fair thing in Germany. So when you are a secondary school teacher, you have to work 27 hours times 45, because teachers cannot count to 60. It's too difficult. So we count 45 minutes, and then 27 times 45, and this is our working time. And the rest time is then preparation time, or what we, how you teach your life. Yeah, what you do normally. There are some teachers which simply know how to manage these 27 hours so that for the rest of their life, they don't have to prepare anything because of their subjects. Yeah. And there are other ones like geography. In 1986, it was terrible because we had to relearn everything because, GDR was suddenly no more existent. Russia exploded more or less in all kind of countries. All the maps we had were no more correct. Yeah, so this was a very changing time. Okay. And so I like to work with people which are underprivileged, which are not appreciated by the governments or by the authorities. So I like to work with them. And here in Thailand, I do the same. I help recycler children and recycler families, and I'm doing this since I'm actually here, since 20 years. And my wife, which died last year, unfortunately, she did the same. She was also a recycler. That's how we met, actually. And so the goal is now to build up a school where also these children could go. I know it's not possible to get all of them in there, but at least some of them. And the other ones we need to get to pay for the school because it will be a private school. So we have no other choice. We have to get also our fundings in. But we try to lower the price as much as possible. And this is actually now the biggest hurdle, I would say, because I'm not the big millionaire, or even they call me here the Parangmai Mistang, the foreigner without money, because everything I do, I spend in other ideas and get this running. And they're also running. Yeah, so we have a skateboard club. We go to recycle. We break it down there. I share my car with them so that they can have a better earning. And they're cooking for us. So this is a win-win situation, because when they go to the market, they pay only half price what I have to pay. So we benefit both of them. And so now we are looking actually for people which are willing to help us to get the starting capital together. We need about 50,000 to 60,000 euro at the beginning to renovate the building to get the license back. So that's the priority one at the beginning right now. And we have to hurry up because in February, actually January, the registration starts already. So we think that we have to have the school ready in February, on 1st February. It's possible. If when I go down there and I start working and I said, come on, please help me, very sure I will have some people helping me, but they won't help for free. So they want to help get something also for them. They're not charging much. They're charging 300, 400 baht, 500 baht a day. So this is very little money, but this is the daily salary, what they have to earn here. And I'm more than willing to give them even more or double. But also I need to have the money to give it actually to them. And everyone who helps to get up the school will see then also the first up school on earth up and running. So it will be a unique school. It has a completely different curriculum. It will orient it and match the Thai international curriculum because it's a requirement from the government. So that's no problem. Already the Montessori Australia has matched the Montessori curriculum with the government curriculum in Australia. So it's quite easy actually to match it also here in Thailand. And we have Montessori schools here. And as you mentioned before, it is actually mostly Montessori inspired, heavily Montessori inspired. Yeah. But because Gavin is a Montessori teacher, he was running a Montessori school, very successful Montessori school in Sydney, and has built up in Nepal training centers for Montessori and about 2,000 schools, he told me. And in Dominican Republic, NEO, a very new school also. And so we will be the first up school on earth, he said. And we hope to get this running, starting with a kindergarten, because it was before licensed as a kindergarten. So we said it's probably a good idea to start with a kindergarten to get the license back. And then in summer, when the international school year starts here, then going to the primary school, primary level. And then we need 2 more RAI. RAI is 40 to 40 meters. 40 meters to 40 meters land. And there's a requirement. When you make a kindergarten, you need 1 RAI. When you make a primary school, you need 2 more RAI. And when you have a secondary school, again, 2 more RAI. So 5 RAI, you can do everything. We have at the moment land, which is actually 7 RAI available, but we have to rent it. And because it's not so cheap, for us, I have to say, because when I talked to Gavin and said, oh, this is cheap, I said, well, yeah, when you're coming from Australia, probably, or from Europe, but when 25,000 baht is what I actually have for living here, and this is the rent. And 25,000 baht is for 1 RAI, and we have two RAI, so to start with, so it's 50,000, and simply so that we can expand the school, kindergarten, and then doing, preparing for the primary school, and then getting an additional 1 RAI together. And then probably after 2-3 years, getting the other 2 RAI for the secondary school level, because then the students will be also then in need to go there. That's the idea.
Wow, this is very exciting, and I really hope this renovation gets happening very, very soon. So now I know you are an expert in technology, so I'd love to ask you the third question. How do you see technology playing a role in advancing Montessori education globally?
Well, what are we doing here?
Exactly.
I'm talking with somebody sitting in Spain.
Yes.
So just imagine we have students sitting in Thailand, and we have students sitting in your school, and they're communicating with each other in English, probably, because our students cannot speak Spanish, but probably in English. And if we are lucky, we could even then see if they can have an exchange, so that some Thai students come to Spain and spend some time in a Spanish school, and some Spanish students come here to Thailand and spend some time here. That's the good thing actually from Phuket. We have an international airport here, and the internet is, I think, very, very important. The problem right now is only that the people are using it the wrong way. They're using the tablets, the phones, and they're only gaming, and they're getting addicted. And they're no more using it actually what it could be used for. Because I'm running a company in Thailand, and every paper I have here is in Thai language. I cannot read Thai. They're writing every word together. So you not even know where the sentence beginning and the end, you can see. But everything in between, no idea. It's very hard to read for me. And so what am I doing? I'm using Google Translate. I take a picture, and Google is translating into English, sometimes working completely in a different way. That's also happening, so
Yes.
yeah, but it's working more and more better. It's improving a lot. And now with the AI, now we have chat.openai.com. Just perfect. We can actually write complete essays. In Germany, they have written, some students have written their final exam with chat.openai, and somehow the teachers discovered it, and then they blocked them, and they went to court, and they won. So not the teachers, the students. So they allowed it actually, that they are able to use chat OpenAI. Wow. The reason was very simple, because they have to give an input to this chat OpenAI, to this chat, and how you ask the question is already then influencing actually the answer, what you will get. And so it was a student's input, and this was only better formulated at the end. So this was, I really like the judges that they decided this. And then also the authority said, okay, you're under certain circumstances, you are allowed to use chat.openai in a exam. And I think more and more schools have to do this, yeah, because if we want to advance, we have to improve actually AI. We have to make it better and better and better. And yeah, there is the danger that AI will take over the world. Yeah, that's what you see in Star Wars, when then the robots are coming here and they're thinking for you and they're doing everything and they're calculating everything and making even own decisions. And then you have the clone army coming and fighting. Can happen, yeah. But I think we cannot ignore it. Yeah, our parents probably have ignored the colored TV, their parents, the black and white TV, and before them, the radio and the rock and roll music, and we all survived. Yeah. So
I love AI. I love AI. I think AI is
yeah,
a
it's
great
good.
invention. I just wish I
Yeah.
could talk to AI now, it's like so it's very exciting.
Yeah, and the students, they can, I taught 2 Ukrainian girls here, and I said, use OpenAI. Write your text in OpenAI and said, can you correct me? Or can you tell me why this is wrong? And OpenAI is doing it. Yeah. So when they wrote an English text into the OpenAI and said, okay, can you please point out the problems in my text? Yeah, punctuation, vocabulary, wrong writing, and so on, spelling. OpenAI was writing a report to them. They don't need a teacher anymore. So this was OpenAI simply talking to them, and they were happy about this because there was no teacher. They were able to improve without the teacher.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is the same when you have, what is this called, Grammarly, and then similar applications and on the web. I myself learned a lot from simply typing in something into any text. And then Grammarly says, hello, sorry, you have to write this. This is not that. No, then and then. The then with the EN and then with AN. And yeah, so I learned and learned actually while doing this thing. And this will be also something what we will have in upschool.
I was going to ask you. I was going to ask you, would you be using it in upschool?
Yeah, upschool will use the internet because Gavin is doing great videos all around the world. He was on Antarctica, he was in Arctic, in North Pole, also small land. He's now in Sri Lanka doing something about that. He's doing videos about the SDGs, about from the UN, the 17 SDGs, and the topics. And so all these will come into the classrooms, into all classrooms all around the world. This means that also a student in Sri Lanka, in Thailand, and in America actually could have the same lesson at the same time. And the only problem is probably the time difference. Yeah, but Sri Lanka and Thailand would work. It's only 1.5 or 2 hours, but that's fine. But with USA, okay, it's a bit more difficult. It's just the opposite side. Yeah, so they're sleeping when we are awake.
Yes.
Yeah, but the world is getting smaller, and this internet can help us. The same is, for example, there's a math application where students can actually take a picture of even handwritten mathematics equations and ask them, how can I solve it? And this application is then solving it, but not only showing the result, but actually showing the way, and even showing different ways, if this is possible. And this is very inspiring. And this is technology which is great. It is developed by a teacher, by the way. And yeah, like Montessori said, our goal is reached when we are obsolete. Yeah, so when we make ourselves obsolete, no more teacher needed, then we have actually reached our goal. When the students are running on their own, yeah, like a perpetuum mobile, on their own energy and continue running with this, well, then we can be more than happy. Because I'm very sure that's then going into the right direction. And you ask at the beginning because why I'm focusing on all inclusive education, actually.
Yes.
Yeah, so if we only foster and make schools for the 1% or 2% which can afford a Montessori school in the world, we will never reach peace and education. Never. So we have to just start at the other end. We have to get all the kids from India, from China, from with a very high population, from Africa especially. We need all of them to simply get equity in. And when they then realize, wow, actually we are something, we are somebody, we can do the same, we can be a pilot. Yesterday I read an article about a pilot which started as a cleaner in an airplane. And he got his fourth stripe now. Yeah. And okay, it took him 20 years, but he got it. And this is so amazing, yeah, that this is possible. And these are things where we say, okay, come on. If we can show our children that this is possible, we can change the world. Because the people which have experienced no money, being hungry, having nothing, they have completely different ideas. Like those who said, if there's a problem, I pay for it, no problem, problem solved. Yeah, they probably not even get it, why there is a problem. Because only money makes the world go round. But actually what we need is actually humanity makes the world go round. This we can only reach if we can reach the masses. So we need Montessori for all. And I went to, in 2004, I went to the UNESCO conference at All-Inclusive Education. And this was actually when I said, yeah, I go this way. All-inclusive education. Why did I come to Thailand? To work for less than 1,000 euro actually at this time. I got 40,000 Thai baht for being an education director. You can live quite good with this here. And this house where I'm just living and or just getting kicked out now, it's very nice. Yeah, we had a huge garden. We could look to the sea. Will be now changing, but never mind. Now we have a school. It's also good. Yeah, we can do something when we start doing something by ourselves. And this is, I think, the most important thing. When we only sit there and said, okay, I go in the morning to the school, go in the evening, I'm back home, nothing will change. But if we stand up there and said, okay, there is a school, let's renovate it. And yeah, okay, it's hard. I don't know how to finance it actually, but I don't give up on the idea because somehow I'm sure when I start putting this the switch box in with the fuses, so that we have power again in the thing, then putting the cables in. This I can do with a friend together, and then the school has light again, and then we put the water again in. Then also others will see, oh wow, probably we should help Andy, and then see that this is getting faster and faster ready. If I don't start, nothing will happen. This thing will be overgrown again in 2 months, and then that's it. Yeah. So I'm eager to simply start and invest also my last penny, what I have here, simply to get it running, because I'm fascinated from the idea. I have read the primary curriculum, the overview from Gavin, and the full kindergarten curriculum. And I really recommend that you interview at one point Gavin McCormick about this curriculum. He's an amazing man. We need a lot of schools all around the world. If all of these schools adopt this training, this teacher training, which is affordable, yeah, it's $250 for a master's class. Compare this with the Montessori diploma course. And you get all the ideas from the Montessori basic ideas, yeah. You get all through this curriculum, what he has written down there too, to the training. So we are not like I'm AMI trained, but I'm not, I have, fortunately in Germany, they don't do the passes down there that you are not allowed to train others. Now on the AMI diplomas, they have always a sentence down at the bottom, which says this certificate down or this diploma don't allow you to train others or something like this. And this is counterproductive because in my opinion, a teacher who cannot train others, he has missed the class.
Mm.
Yeah, so he's not a teacher, a Montessori teacher who's actually, and every Montessori teacher should be able to train parents and teachers, others, and students, of course. Yeah.
Mm.
And to be multiplicator. And if this would have happened already 100 years ago, or actually 70 years ago, after Montessori died, then we would have Montessori all over. But that's not the case. Because I see it as the American way of things when this was held the money way.
Mm.
Yeah, in America, first Montessori vanished away, was completely gone, nearly, after Maria Montessori went there. And then Miss Rambusch, she started again, and she did a great job to make it popular again. And then, they have founded the AMS, the American Society.
Mm.
And then people in this society had the idea, which were no more Rambusch's idea and also no more Maria Montessori's idea. And so then Maria had no other choice than simply to write to Miss Rambusch then a letter, which you can still see online. Yeah, I'm sorry, but we know that you put a lot of effort in there, but we pull away the authority, the Montessori authority. But on this point already, America was running with the AMS. And this was a money-based. This was 150% money-based. Build up a Montessori school and you make yourself rich. And unfortunately, this model went around the world, everywhere.
Mm.
And just recently, some years ago, then AMI came back and tried to get in there. But meanwhile, already MWEI, also MY, the Montessori World Education Institute, they had very, very good training courses. By the way, Gavin McCormick is the Montessori World Education Institute Australia man. And the courses from Margaret Humphrey, they are freely available in the internet. You can look to them. Yeah, when you go, for example, to https:/montessoriphuket.com/training, you will see all these kindergarten training courses linked. And Margaret Humphrey was somebody who lived actually with Maria Montessori and who got trained by Maria Montessori. And when you listen to her, you got the feeling actually it's Maria Montessori speaking. Yeah, it's very interesting. And so, yeah.
Do you think we can have the link? So if people want to connect with the training, so I can add that link to the description. Okay, wonderful.
I sent you the link. Yeah, no problem.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So Andy, can you tell me more about all the sites, all the websites you have, and the Montessori especially, where they can really display or show their work? Can you tell me more about this, please?
Yes, also I have developed Montessori International, Montessori-international.com. This is a platform where we invite all Montessori schools all around the world and all Montessori teachers to register with their school. They can write their own blog there. They can put their events in there. They can have a video, actually Jitsi Meet is there, where they can communicate with each other for free. No need to install Zoom or whatever. You only send the link to the other school and then or the teacher, and then they can communicate. Then we have Montepedia, montepedia.com. This is, I realized that when you write something on Wikipedia, there are so many censorships in there and people which have no idea about Montessori, and they're coming in with all kinds of ideas, but they're destroying actually what the Montessori text should be. And so I said, okay, let's setting up Montepedia. And I introduced it also at the IMC to many, many teachers and schools which were there, and they liked it. Also 2 universities, and yeah, I hope that this is growing. It's a community effort, so everyone can. It's like a Wikipedia. You can register, you can write.
This is amazing. The link as
everyone
well.
has to do something.
I can add the link too. This is great. Really, thank you.
Then we have Montessori .ltd. This is a portfolio manager, and the portfolio Mahara is actually the system, what it's called, and the portfolio manager is there. where every teacher can write down his curriculum and can say, okay, I worked in this school, at this school, I have built this and this material there. It has internal chat groups, it has a blog inside there, and you can decide what you show to the public and not. And of course, all the CVs you can simply publish, and then it's very easy when you register for a job. You can simply combine different CVs. Also you can put this out, leave this other one out because you think it is probably not so good to tell them this here. So that you can decide by yourself. And then you don't have to rewrite this whole thing. You only make a new composition and then you send it to the link to the school or wherever you want to attract or employ. That's Montessori.ltd. LTD, learn, teach, and develop.
Thank you so much. I really thank you so much for everything. And I hope everybody will click on those links because it sounds very interesting and they can explore more things. So how has your experience in Montessori education influenced or shaped your approach to business and entrepreneurship?
Well, in Thailand, they call me the Farang Mai Mistang, the foreigner without money, but with a big heart. So yeah, it is partly the reason is Montessori, because I train the people which I build websites or web applications with our company in how to do this job. And when they can do the job, then they do it by themselves. Some recommend me, some not. And yeah, I get new customers through recommendations mostly. And but I like to simply empower them to do most of them themselves, also to save their own costs. But this is not a very good business model. So
Yes.
help to do it by myself in business is counterproductive to running a business, I would say. Yeah, so but it's actually from the heart, it's the best you can do. Because the people are happy, they like what you do, they feel empowered, they suddenly realize that they can do a lot more by themselves. But before they said, "Oh, computer, and I don't know how to set up a website," and then so on. Suddenly they say, "Well, I changed an image here and I changed the text here, and I'm in the background. So when there is something down, then they can call me and then said, Andy, I think I messed up something there. This image looks now very distorted there up there. Can you have a look?" And then I look in there. So my hosting is actually a combined price with a little where this maintenance cost is integrated. So I said, okay, so the small fixes I simply do then parallel to the regular jobs which I have here. And I wish there were more people doing actually helping others to empower them instead of simply saying, come on, let's run it and get all the money from them and then have a nice house or villa or whatever it is. It's not my goal. It's also now with the school. My idea is simply to build a small container house beside it, going in there 3 to 6 meters. I don't even know, because I need a bed for sleeping, of course, and a clean shower where I have my area, but that's it. And then the rest, TV, I can go over to the school if I want to watch TV, if I have time to. Normally not. And my instruments, they will for sure not be in my house. They will be in the school anyway. So I will go over there too. And so it's with most of the other things. So this will be the whole life. Then a Chinese woman came and said, Andy, actually, what you need is a boarding house. Can we build a boarding house? And I like her idea. There is enough space on this land actually to build a boarding house. But she says, yeah, when we have so many children there, which have also sometimes no father, no mother, probably we can build a house where parents can send their children, and then and having also the other children, which I was just talking about, which have no mother, father, or actually they have, but they don't take care. Well, the children I take care, they have actually father, mother, but the yabba yabba do. Yabba is a drug here in Thailand, and yeah, it's terrible, and yeah, influencing so much. And so helping them, and then having them, then it's a school family, which has them the whole year through some programs probably there. We want to start with the kindergarten now, then going to the primary school, and then hopefully then also to secondary school later on.
Wow.
And yeah, and such a building, why not? Yeah, would be possible. The only problem what we have is if out in your audience, for example, is somebody there says, I like the idea, Andy, can you tell me more about this? Can you send me the curriculum from Gavin? And I will ask him and connect those two and said, here, come on, I will sponsor this. I would be more than happy.
Wow, this
With
is
the
really
materials,
amazing.
Gavin already said we can call our schools here and then make a letter around and say, come on, send your materials here. We will repair it. You're helping here a school to be set up. And with this material, probably what we have prepared, we can set up also other schools or public schools here in Thailand. Then later on, yeah. So if this is working, we hope that this school is a nucleus, as the center, which is not growing big, but being a very good center, so that actually the people can look at this and, oh wow, it's working. We can do this in our school too. And then they come to us and get trained, or we come to them and train them in their surrounding, which is probably the better way. So I like actually to go to the school and see where they are, and then think about how we can change the school, open the classrooms and doing things.
Thank you so much, Andy. So we have only 4 minutes left. Could you share a quote or piece of advice that has been a guiding force for you in your journey and continues to inspire you today? And the audience out there, if you want to know more about what Andy is up to with the school, you look the link below, and you can even contact him and find out more about what his project is all about. So now, piece of advice?
Well, I think our company is called Andy, and we have a motto, and it's the future is within us. Because I think we have to do it by ourselves, because otherwise nobody will do it. So if we don't get active ourselves and we do something, and this also in Up School, which is following the SDGs, and then said, okay, we have to be active. If we want to change and get all these SDGs solved, we have to be the ones doing it. And then motivating others, joining in and doing it too. And the other motto is a Montessori motto, simply help to do it by myself. Yeah, because this is what drives me. I like to empower children so that they actually can do it by themselves. When you look to the pictures I have sent the link to, yeah, you can post the link to the gallery from the school. They will see the videos and the kids actually cleaning up the school. It's not me. And the funny thing is that they even didn't want to stop cleaning up the school. It was more important to clean up the classrooms than to go to KFC. Yeah, I said, come on, let's go eating KFC and then Swenson. And I said, no, we have to do still here the classroom and here the classroom. And then this never happened before. Yeah, before they were begging, come, Papa, can we go there? And so, okay. The kids say Papa to me, but I'm actually not their father.
Papa, no.
So Papa, yeah, Papa is easy.
Well, yeah. Andy, thank you so much. I'm profoundly grateful for this podcast, and I hope everyone will be inspired. And thank you again. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Thank you so much. Have a great day. Have a great
Perfect.
day. I'm really thank you so much. Thank you.
You too.
Take care. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.